Nothing in our solar system explodes today, but one tiny change could make every planet more dangerous overnight. Imagine waking up to a world where every planet is suddenly twice its size. Sounds impossible, right? But here's the strange part. Doubling a planet's size doesn't just make it bigger. It completely rewrites the laws of survival. If every planet's radius doubled, each one would become roughly 8 times more massive. Gravity would tighten its grip. Atmospheres would change. Worlds that seem familiar today would become almost unrecognizable. Yet the sun remains exactly the same, leaving the planets to deal with the chaos on their own. And that's when things start getting really interesting. Take Mercury. Right now, it's little more than a scorched, lifeless rock. But what happens next changes everything. A much larger interior could trap enormous amounts of heat, forcing ancient volcanic systems back to life. A world believed to be geologically dead might suddenly erupt again after billions of years of silence. Then there's Venus. It's already one of the most hostile places imaginable. But here's where it gets weird. Stronger gravity would compress its thick carbon dioxide atmosphere even further. Walking on its surface wouldn't feel like walking through air anymore. It would be more like pushing through an invisible ocean of crushing pressure, where every step feels impossible. And just when you think those worlds are terrifying, Earth is next. But that's not even the craziest part. Imagine stepping out of bed and instantly feeling twice as heavy. That's exactly what would happen if Earth suddenly doubled in size. Gravity would become far stronger, turning everyday life into a constant physical struggle. Your heart would work overtime just to pump blood. Your joints would ache under the extra weight. Even climbing a flight of stairs could feel like an exhausting workout. But here's the strange part. Leaving Earth might become nearly impossible. Rockets would need dramatically more fuel to escape the planet's stronger gravity and thicker atmosphere. Space travel, as we know it, could become so expensive and difficult that humanity might be trapped on its own world. Then comes the biggest surprise of all, Mars. Everyone expects the red planet to become even harsher. Instead, the opposite could happen. A larger, hotter core might restart its long-dead magnetic field, shielding the planet from the relentless solar wind. Over time, a thicker atmosphere could return. Rivers could flow again. Oceans might even reappear. The barren desert we know today could slowly transform into a world capable of supporting life. And this is where it gets weird. While Mars becomes more welcoming, another planet begins to reshape the entire solar system. Jupiter's immense gravity would shift the balance of everything around it, pulling asteroids from their ancient paths and changing the solar system's center of mass. But even that isn't the most unbelievable twist, because Jupiter still wouldn't become a true star. You'd think a planet that massive would ignite like a second Sunday. But here's the strange part. Even a supersized Jupiter wouldn't have enough mass to become a real star. It would need to be vastly heavier before nuclear fusion could begin. However, if it became around 13 times more massive than it is today, it could cross the line into becoming a mysterious brown dwarf, a failed star lurking between planet and sun. The chaos doesn't stop there. Saturn's breathtaking rings would slowly disappear as stronger gravity drags their icy particles toward the planet. Uranus would remain the solar system's strangest world, only with an even denser atmosphere carrying the unmistakable smell of rotten eggs. Neptune's increased gravity could pull countless icy objects from the distant Kuiper belt, quietly reshaping the edge of our cosmic neighborhood. And then there's Pluto. The tiny world that lost its planetary title might finally have a chance to earn it back. With greater mass and stronger gravity, it could clear its orbital neighborhood and once again qualify as a true planet. So would doubling every planet destroy the solar system? Surprisingly, no. It would unleash extraordinary changes, rewrite the rules of gravity, and transform familiar worlds into places almost beyond imagination. But that's not the real nightmare. Because there's one cosmic event far more terrifying than bigger planets, and it begins the moment our sun starts growing. The question is, would Earth